He is a boil on the face of reality. That's the Plague Champion, not Pax. Whoa, dodgy little part of the map there on Driller's Forge, but it's okay, we survive. He's going to be facing up against Skysilver in this matchup. Force Commander on Driller's Forge, pretty good map for the Space Marines. Well, let's face it, it's a decent map for both players. It's very close to a mirror. Perhaps the Apo would be a little bit closer, but pretty close nonetheless. We're going to see a lot of flamers, I think. The gen farms on this map are pretty exposed. Distance from the base to the enemy's gen farm is very, very small, so, you know, tactical flamers expected, but also probably noise marines. Said, we probably also will see Havocs from the Plague Champion player, just to try and control the Force Commander. Havocs plus Noise Marines would be a pretty typical build here. In such a case, Skysilver's scout play is going to be very important, but it seems that Skysilver isn't even going for double scouts, which is a little bit unusual. You see default heretics here, not really having a great time. Okay, I stand corrected, they're having just a fantastic time. I don't think Sky was watching those attacks there. They obviously should have been shooting at the heretics a lot sooner than they did, getting caught in melee quite early. He's going to be going for his double tack build. Obviously he was watching his scouts here, which are doing a little bit of kite and poke against the heretics here, but the CSM are coming over to save the day and the scouts are going to need to retreat. They do not want to be eating CSM bolter fire. Now thanks to that double tax, we're only just getting the node up now. And wow, Pax has gone for triple gens right out the gate. I didn't see how the Force Commander got forced off. I assume he got caught in an enfilade of fire between the CSM and the PC. It would seem that with this initial opening build from Pax, that the Force Commander would be extremely powerful. He really needs to exploit that, does Skysilver, in order to push the opponent back to be able to catch up in terms of power. Right now, of course, map control is very favoured for Pax as well. I mean, this is kind of to be expected on a small map against heretics. Heretics will be default scouts, and then that's even compounded even more by the fact that Skysilver went for 2 tacks, so he only had 2 units at the start instead of 3. And you can see Pax is really putting the pressure on, as he should. Given that he opted for the extra generators, he should, of course, be purchasing a lot of upgrades. So we see the Eternal War here on the CSM, we see the Aspiring Champion down here on these heretics, the Aspiring Champion as well on these heretics, but no grenade launchers yet, so the Tactical Marines hiding in the building here are going to be quite safe. A really big VP lead to get things started here. 100 VPs down already for Skysilver. He does have a Devastator squad on the way. That will certainly be helpful against the double Aspiring Champion heretics. Curious to see if we'll get Raptors to counter this, or if Pax will be content just utilising the PC, who is naturally just so much better against setup teams. I mean, I don't know if you guys realise it, but this guy will shoot like normal when suppressed. So if the setup team is out of cover and the PC is in cover, he can basically just outshoot the setup team. It's kind of absurd. Of course, we could also see a Grenade Launcher Heretic, we could also see Noise Marines. None of these things are a perfect counter like Raptors are, but, you know, you get a few of them. This should do pretty good against the Devastator. FC getting very close to death there. Still no generators for Skysilver, which is really concerning me quite a lot. Okay. It's fine. He's got a beautiful push here. There's no anti-setup team, and this Devastator's actually not in an amazing spot. I feel like the heretics, I don't know, maybe they could have sneaked through here. It was hard to tell. You can't see the setup of an enemy unit like I can see right now. It's arc, so obviously you didn't want to risk getting any closer and getting obliterated by a heavy bolter. So a little bit of a reposition here. CSM will end up tying up the Devastators in melee, but Skysilver's happy with it. You see For the Emperor drop down on the Tactical Marines here, giving them extra damage, and the other attacks are just going to use that 50% extra capping speed, decap the power, and get out of there. Only one Tactical Marine model is killed here for Skysilver, and he now drops his 2 gens. A little bit late, I would say. I think he's clearly been focusing his attention down here and messing up a little bit on his macro there. 3rd gen now comes down, and Pax is going to do the questionable decision of going tier 2 with no power farm. So if Skysilver manages to get another bash off whilst retaining his gen farm, Skysilver should be in a tremendous position. But as it stands, the macro misplay there is really going to hurt Skysilver. He's going to delay his tier 2 tech for a long time, so a fast Blood Crusher now from Pax could be quite effective. He's not going to have the power, I don't believe. No, he's only got 16 right now. So he needs to use some of that surplus requisition to get more gens. However, he can't defend them, because here we go again. Tactical Marines are running down to the gen farm. Pax will have seen this because he gets sight from this requisition point, and this time there's no Devastators to support the tax, so the AC ticks here should be able to tie them up and rout them. Potential to kill the scouts there and retreat with the heretics, but a little bit slow to respond. Yeah, not correctly positioned. Heretics here really need to get out. They're in a bad spot with the Battlecry Force Commander nearby. But it's okay. Oh wow, really lucky kill there on the Tactical Space Marines. They had huge amounts of HP. Got one of the models. Clearly, for some reason, that one model that died there was taking all the damage. Very unfortunate. And the Devastators are just going to be used defensively. Now that the Flamers are pushed off, you see that Pax replaces the 2 gens. And still not enough power for a Blood Crusher. This is the problem, you know, he could have had a Blood Crusher out ages ago if he didn't have his gens bashed. But it's delaying it for so long. Pax should probably own this power point as well, and so he's going to settle for the Bloodletters instead. Which I think is not even a bad idea, because let's face it, Skysilver is now going tier 2 as well. You know what Space Marines are like, they've got so much transitional AV. You can get a Power Fist on the Force Commander, missiles on the Tax, Las Cannon on the Devs. A Blood Crusher, I mean, to be honest, a Blood Crusher on this map probably still useful. A lot of line of sight blockers, which you can hide the Blood Crusher behind and heal it with Worship. But the impact of the Bloodletters right now is going to be very high. Devastators are currently uncountered, so these Bloodletters will be very helpful for Pax's army. Thunderhammer Force Commander, though, could be quite brutal. We'll see what Skysilver goes for. Of course, there's no transitional AV potential from Pax's army right now, so you also have the option of Razorback. Not really a good transport map, I don't think. Not a lot of wide open spaces for it to really utilise its speed. And a lot of line of sight blockers, making it a better walker map generally. Okay, so it is going to apparently be a Razorback. And he sees the Bloodletters. I mean, Razorback counters the Bloodletters. Piercing damage will be pretty effective against the light infantry armor of the Bloodletters. Of course, Bloodletters are only power melee, not heavy melee, so they won't do crazy damage to the Razorback. We'll see. I think, yeah, I was just going to say, I think this Force Commander needs to get the Thunderhammer to really control all this melee right now. I mean, there's currently 3 melee squads on the field with the 2 AC ticks and the Bloodletters, but we do see that Thunderhammer coming in for the Force Commander. I'm not sure if there's any other upgrades. Sternguard would have better effective DPS than the Tactical Space Marines against the light infantry armor. Not seeing any of them yet. Quite frankly, Skysilver does not have the power to afford it. I mean, he's just paid for this Thunderhammer and the Razorback. It's very wise for the Razorback to focus down the Heretics first, because of course they could just worship and heal the Bloodletters without a model being lost. Also, the Bloodletters, of course, can use this phase out ability. But they will have to flee here soon. They don't have much support. There's no Heretics nearby, though. They've definitely got to get out of there. Yeah, they're going to retreat. We've got Plague Marines on the way for Pax. Pax making a little bit of a micro error down here. Ends up losing his PC to the Devastators, which is devastating for Pax. It's going to hurt him in the map control. It means that he doesn't have... He's going to have to divert one of his heretics to contest the map. And that means he's going to have less worship support for his Bloodletters. The Razorback here ferrying the Tactical Marines across this very small map. I told you Flamers are so strong on this map. And that is going to be a really swift gem bash here for Skysilver. Capping with attacks, utilising the extra speed. We've got a Sergeant coming. Probably going to turn these guys into Stern Guard. Those Hellfire rounds are beautiful against this composition. Bloodletters are light infantry, Heretics are light infantry, and Plague Marines, believe it or not, are light infantry. So the Hellfire rounds will be extremely effective. Here we go, we've got Corn Marines, wow. Pax going for a full melee build right now. And is that Sergeant going to die? The Sergeant's took a lot of damage here from Bloodletters. He lives. That's lucky for Skysilver, that means he can upgrade straight away to the Stern Guard and have a good time. Thunderhammer special there, actually killing that Bloodletter was quite nice because they are under worship now, getting a good amount of healing. But beautiful positioning here from the Devastators, gonna stop any advancement down this area. And the Razorback can survive. No upgrade on that Razorback. The upgrade on the Razorback's a really interesting one. You literally pay 50% of the power cost of the Razorback to get that upgrade. For a 50% increase in HP. I mean, I really question the value of that. A bit weird that the Force Commander retreated there. Sacred Standard is going to be picked up by the Force Commander. Not a bad choice when you've got double Tactical Space Marines, going to be boosting their damage quite a bit. Obviously, use that Force Commander defensively, use him to counter-initiate the enemy melee. You're getting the damage buff not only then from the Battlecry, but also from the Sacred Standard. It could be very powerful. Shocked, to be honest, not to see any Stern Guard yet. Suppose these Tactical Marines are nearly level 3, which might have persuaded Skysilver, I'm not sure. Corn Marines here, they were going to wipe the floor with these Tactical Space Marines. Skysilver's not noticing. They do a lot of power melee damage. You need that Force Commander to come and protect them, for sure. Pax needs a bit more control on this Force Commander. He could do with a Havoc, given that there's no ASM. Or he could do with a Chaos Dreadnought. That was weird. How did that grenade not do anything? It seemed to have landed on the wall somehow. Wow, Razorback kind of flirting with death there. Tactical Marines here should be pretty chill. They can just get inside the Razorback if they want to. Doesn't even matter, wow, they're just tanking the Bloodletters. Damn. And then the FC can just tie up this Plague Marine squad, should be okay. Plague Marines misfire as well. Firing their missile at the Tactical Marines and not the Razorback. Oh, that's a big error. Now the Marines are free to just shoot these Heretics down. And the Heretics are getting wrecked. Damn. Noxious Cloud is a bit curious here. Not going to do a tremendous amount of damage to the Tactical Space Marines. I'm not sure why the Razorback has its rear armor currently exposed. I think these Tacs, yeah, they need to get out. Even with the And They Shall Know No Fear, they're just too low HP. Okay. Oh, Razorback's going to die to the Corn Marines. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh my god, look at that. What a play. Yeah, the Corn Marines are going to get it here. Power melee damage, it still does do a reasonable chunk to the vehicles. Especially when it's from a high DPS unit like the Corn Marines. Touch and Urgle using them here, just to give them that extra survivability in case some of the models did start dying. Wanted to ensure he could kill that Razorback. Of course, you not only obviously lose the models, but the more important thing there, I guess, for Pax was, as he loses models on that squad, his DPS is getting reduced by 25% each time, so, you know, he didn't want to lose any more than one model. A lot of bleed here for Pax. Does replace his PC, he's got that Armour of Pestilence. And once again, we just see the Flamer combined with the Sacred Standard, and that is a Bash Gen farm. Though at this point, to be honest, Pax has purchased Bloodletters and Plague Marines and replaced a PC. I mean, it's all requisition heavy investments. Bloodletters and Plague Marines both being over 400 requisition and only 40 power. Plague Champion obviously 0 power to repurchase a downed hero. So the result of that is that in spite of all these bashes, Pax is floating power. However, if he wants to go tier 3, he is going to need to replace that gen farm. So I don't think Pax is going to be going tier 3 this game, especially since Skysilver is already down to 143 VPs. But in terms of the map control and the combat right now, I think Skysilver is kind of in the ascendancy. Plasma gun now on one of these Tactical Space Marines, level 3 for both these Tactical Space Marines. I mean, the sheer level of damage that they're outputting is quite insane. But some nice use of the Bloodletter Worship there. Devastator's just chilling down bot, used very, very defensively. I mean, they're very annoying for Pax to deal with because he wants the Bloodletters in the main fight. So basically nothing can walk down the side of the map and 1v1 them. See if the Bloodletters can get the Force Commander here. Ah, they do, wow. So really nice pickup there for Pax. Not 100% sure why Skysilver was committing so hard with his Force Commander there, but what can you do? And the Plague Marines now are going to bash all the gens for Skysilver. Don't mind me guys, I'm just choking on my coffee. It's all good. We actually do see Sternguard called in now. Con Marines, I question how much they've paid off, to be honest. I mean, they got the kill on the Razorback, I guess that's alright. Getting ambushed here by infiltrated scouts, losing another couple of models. I mean, the requisition bleed here for Pax is just tremendous. Pax would benefit so much right now if you could get a Chaos Dreadnought out. No AV on the field. Of course, there is this Devastator which could get a las cannon, but if that happens, then it's no longer useful in its role of protecting the side VPs. And look, the VP pressure is already on. Even with this Devastator uncontested down here, Pax is putting the pressure on and Skysilver is down below 115 VPs. So it would not only force an AV response out of Skysilver, which potentially negates some of his troops at the moment, which are all very much dedicated to anti-infantry, but it also provides you a nice tool to deal with the Thunderhammer Force Commander. It's got good range DPS to focus him down, and if he comes close, you can force melee, and the Chaos Dreadnought, unlike the Corn Marines and Bloodletters, will not get flung aside by the Thunderhammer. So a really nice tool to be utilising against that FC. Going to throw out the End Shall Know No Fear here, and the Corn Marines have to leg it. I mean, it's kind of a rough fight for them when they're fighting 3 Tactical Space Marines, a little bit outnumbered. And he's going to opt for the Blood Crusher. I don't know why, when he could have got a Dreadnought. I mean, at this point, I think the time for the Blood Crusher has long passed. We could probably just see the flame attack. Oh, I was going to say we could probably see the flame attack swap to a missile launcher. He's going to really regret that now that he's got a plasma gun. Of course, you have the Vengeance rounds here on the Sternguard. You'll see the effectiveness here of the Dragonfire rounds on the Sternguard, helping them easily shoot the Plague Marines to death. Dragonfire rounds basically just ignore the cover entirely. So it's like they're just stood out in the open right now. Not helpful for the Plague Marines. Looks like they're just going to run into melee with the Sternguard. I think they'll lose that fight as well. 2 Marine models versus 4. Not going to go well for them, even if they do have that extra HP regen. Con Marines are good capping the sides, that's for sure, as long as they don't meet Devastators. Finally, Skysilver is going to move the Devastator squad. I mean, he's currently got a triple cap in favour of himself. Oh, he's gone for a last cannon. Wow, heavy commitment to take out the Blood Crusher here. Probably would replace that Devastator if I was Skysilver. There is still no real effective Devastator counter for the sidelines. You have Bloodletters in the main fights, but as long as the devs aren't there, it's not really a problem. You see for the Emperor here activated on the Stern Guard, giving them that extra damage boost, and the last cannon is going to get the final shot. Boom. Dead Blood Crusher. Look, it forced some AV, but yeah, I think a Chaos Dreadnought would have been a hell of a lot more impactful. And I also have to question why the Blood Crusher was even down there in the first place, on its own, with no worship support. A large part of what makes Blood Crushers so powerful is the fact that you can heal them on the field without literally having a unit right next to them through the worship. So no missile needed for Skysilver. What the hell is this? More tactical Space Marines. What on earth? He just has a crazy tack blob. Wow. That is quite something. But how do you count attacks? Well, you don't try and outshoot them. You beat them up in melee, and that is what he's doing right now, or at least he's trying. So, unfortunately, the Corn Marines are preoccupied trying to fight the FC, which is not a fight they want. Those Corn Marines need to be in the back lines here, ripping up tactical Space Marines, and it looks like the Force Commander might even be able to get a kill on the Plague Champion here. No, unfortunately, he is suppressed. But oh my god, look at the range damage here of the Corn Marines. Absolutely melted by Sacred Standard boosted triple tactical Space Marines. Well, technically 2 tactical Space Marines and 1 Stern Guard, but wow. That is a lot of DPS. Plasma doing 50% extra damage against the heavy infantry there. Kraken rounds adding another 20%, and then the Sacred Standard adding an extra 25%. Pretty ridiculous amount of damage on the Corn Marines there, and you've seen what the result was. They got melted. The VPs are still in favour of packs, but for how long I am not sure. Now, one of the things that he doesn't have to worry about anymore is any annoying las cannon devastators on the sidelines. No, any annoying heavy bolter devastators on the sidelines, because he now has a las cannon. But the problem for packs really is he just is lacking units. He is losing units, and Skysilver just seems to be getting more and more. Drop pods flying out of the sky, dropping off more tactical Space Marines, and there's just too much manpower. Now we've got another battle cry going down that's going to be buffing up the damage of everyone nearby. It's going to be controlling the Bloodletters. A little bit of a problem here with the Havocs. That said, honestly, if you could shoot the Havocs for a few seconds with Kraken round Sacred Standard boosted plasma guns, you're going to kill the Havocs pretty quick. We see the scouts moving around as well. They're going to probably go for a grenade on the Havocs. They're just seeing how things are, scouting. Havocs right now focusing on the Force Commander. I mean, he is really the best target for them, but at the same time they have to be wary that if the plasma attacks aren't tied up, they can kill the Havocs very quickly. Force Commander's going to go down. Yeah, Plague Champion gets him. Plague Champion can't be knocked over by that Thunderhammer special due to the Armor of Pestilence, so actually a pretty good counter to the Force Commander. And now the Havoc resets up and is going to suppress both of these Marine squads, but there is one down here that is not suppressed. This is what I'm talking about. You see the power of the plasma guns, but the Bloodletters just get into melee in time. That plasma gun was just about to fire, and I'm telling you, if that hit, that would have been a dead Havoc model at the front there. So we're going to need a bit of Nurgle worship here. Let's get these Havocs healed up again. Let's heal up the Bloodletters. The Bloodletters should be able to tank the plasma guns under worship quite effectively, if there's just one. Plasma guns, they do have a negative modifier against the light infantry of the Bloodletters. But let's see, I mean, we got another Bloodletter squad coming out here for packs, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, in all honesty. He still just seems so outnumbered. Look at this blob of Marines. I've never seen so many Tactical and Stern Guard together in a 1v1. This is insane. Poor Plague Champion just gets absolutely melted. Jeez. I'm not sure about the choice to divert the Plague Champion there for the cap. Probably would have been better sending off the Plague Marines. Of course, then he would have had nothing guarding the top, but you know, how well do the Plague Marines actually guard the top? Evidently not too well. Wow, even under worship, the Bloodletters there just get absolutely melted. Holy crap. Havocs definitely need to be suppressing these guys first. And the Bloodletters need to be engaging simultaneously, but we'll see. We've got a defensive force commander right now, who apparently doesn't have a battle cry, which is a big help for Pax. And one of the tactical marines gets shredded. This one in the middle is not looking good either. Another Noxious Cloud getting dropped down. Honestly, I kind of feel like Touch of Nurgle would be more useful. Skysilver recognises the real threat is the Worshipping Heretics here, healing the Bloodletters. And wow, this is a crazy engagement. What the hell? We got scouts flanking and a drop pod called down there, reinforcing the nearby tactical space marines, who are going to turn around and just deal with the Bloodletters. There's just too many marines right now, all getting buffed up by that Sacred Standard. I actually really like the Sacred Standard play here. I was thinking earlier, you know, do we go Sacred Standard or 10 more tactical space marines? What the fuck? This is crazy. I've never seen this many in a 1v1. This is insane. They're just coming out of the sky. The whole chapter's here. God. Crazy. I was thinking whether or not you'd go for the Iron Halo, given the lack of things to counter the FC, but nah. In this instance, the Sacred Standard 100% has been amazing. Buffing the damage of these tac blobs, it's just been crazy. I mean, Pax is still in it, he's got the 1 cap, but the scouts are uncontested at the moment at the top, and I think Skysilver should have this. If Skysilver just sort of rotates around this area as a pivot, he should be able to prevent units coming up here to go for the decap, or coming here to go for the decap, and he should win it. PC building a turret down bot. I mean, technically the last cannon probably can outrange that, but it would lack sight. Right now Skysilver's not watching, the last cannon's going to get wrecked. So Plague Marines are going to go for that cap up top. They're obviously quite tanky. It's going to be quite annoying for Skysilver to deal with. Can't get rid of them quickly. So he probably wants to rotate one of his tactical marines over there to help the scouts deal with that. We'll see. The bottom is now secure. Last Cannon Devastators did retreat away. They're back at base and are healing. And the Plague Champion is just going to get on the cap. Skysilver kind of messing up right now. He's deliberating too much about where he wants to engage, and it's a problem for him. And he walks his Marines straight here into the Arc of Fire of the Havocs, and now we've got double Bloodletters jumping on them. But we do have the Force Commander to counter-initiate with the Battle Cry. We also have a Noxious Cloud. This is a beautifully executed attack here from Pax onto the blob of Tactical Space Marines. It is currently a 1-0 cap in favour of Pax, as Skysilver's VPs are draining very quick. The PC does manage to capture the VP in the mid, and I think Pax somehow, in spite of the endless hordes of Tactical Marines, is going to take this game. Only 7 VPs left for Skysilver. He is unable to contest any of the points at this point, with the Plague Champion untouched in the middle, the turret successfully defending the bottom, and in fact the Bloodletters and the Havocs combined with a Noxious Cloud dealing really well with the Tactical Marine blob at the top VP. I have no idea how Pax managed to make that comeback. Definitely some positional mistakes there by Skysilver in the end, but I thought it was done for. But that was a beautiful series of plays to get him the win there. The way he baited one of the Marines back with the Bloodletters, had the PC come in after leading with the Plague Marines to bait all of the attacks north. They then walk into the Arc of Fire of the Havoc. The PC can take this uncontested, and as soon as these guys get suppressed, the big blob, he teleports the Bloodletters back and drops the cloud. Beautifully done. Finally, some good 1v1s. I'm just lacking. I'm lacking good 1v1s, guys. I'm in need of good 1v1s. So if you have any good 1v1 replays, please on the Discord. via the link in the description and send them my way. I hope you did enjoy that one. That is going to be all for your boy Torpid, signing out.